Today we learn about nutrition from a bunch of kids in a band, man.
Battle of the Network shows. Join Rick Brooks and Mike Kogel as they explore the TV of the 70s and 80s through hand-picked episodes of their favorite and not-so-favorite series.
Welcome to Battle of the Network shows. I'm Mike.
And I'm Rick. Hello, everyone.
And this week we've got a real curiosity here, I think.
I think so.
Especially, I mean, it might be that a lot of people remember it, but maybe not as a TV show. That's how I remember it.
As a TV show?
No, as a thing I encountered at school.
Okay.
But this Mulligan Stew, a sort of multimedia project from the USDA and 4-H about healthy eating habits.
Yeah, a TV show about nutrition.
Yeah.
Educational, but with a lot of production techniques designed to appeal to a younger audience.
Yeah, very like Sesame Street without as much money. But I mean, some of the same, like an urban setting and little quick segments. And
originally, the target audience was supposed to be 4th to 6th graders.
okay.
I've read. Although it's quite possible that people in lower and higher grades were exposed to it.
But from 1972?
Yeah, 1972 is when it premiered.
Yeah. So it aired on what, PBS and syndication?
Yeah.
And then you could watch it in classrooms.
Right. So I guess schools could rent it, and
Yeah.
like get it on film and show it that way. And I think that's where a lot of kids saw it, and they would pass out materials and educational materials. And what's weird though, because the timeline, so they only made 6 episodes, which I don't know why, probably budgetary reasons.
They covered everything.
I guess they did, yeah.
I mean, they repeat a lot of material.
That's true. But I was trying to find some information about it, and I found it was like a New York Times article from 1974 talking about it premiering on New Jersey public TV stations, but making it sound like it had never been, at least in New Jersey. Maybe it was just like the New Jersey market hadn't had it yet on their stations. I don't know. But as with anything like this, distribution was probably like varied wildly throughout the decades. So I don't know. So you don't remember watching it on PBS, but you remember watching it in school?
Yeah, in 4th grade. And I don't know if we watched all of them. I know we got the comic book, which you have a copy of here. I feel like we must have done like a 6-week unit or something, when you do each episode. But maybe we did one episode and read the comic book and learned, what you need to learn. I don't know. But it kind of stuck with me. Yeah. And that was a little bit of a tough year for me, but I don't know why that stuck with me. Because it's weird. I don't know if your school had 4-H at all. We sort of had 4-H, but it was like they would just show up every now and then and give us homework that didn't count for anything, and I wouldn't do the homework. Like it wasn't, nobody was taking care of goats or anything.
Yeah. I don't remember having that kind of relationship. I just remember it being like an option.
Yeah.
But not
integrated that's the other
into
thing.
Like the regular classroom setting.
It was like it felt like an obligation. Like you have to do this thing. Like why? What? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
And there might have been an after-school part, too, that some kids did. I mean, where I grew up, the town itself was not rural, but there was a rural community right outside it. And some kids probably did have aspects of that in their lives, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of that in my area, but yeah, I don't remember the 4-H being that closely affiliated with the school at all. But maybe it was, but I just wasn't exposed to it. I don't remember watching the show in school. I remember it as a TV show. So I kind of like the opposite experience of you.
Yeah.
And this whole episode started because Mike actually got me this comic book.
Right.
And, it's great. And as soon as I saw it, the theme song came back into my head of the show. So I remembered it. I didn't remember the comic book, but I remember the TV show.
So I think the comic book was part of the school part. They would hand that out, and that was sort of the homework component, which maybe I was fine with that because it was a comic book.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Not every day.
And I was just flipping through it. Some of the art is pretty cool, and then every now and then it's hideous. But
yeah. I saw some interesting material too. It was like the original like handouts and like the packet of information is available online, like in the 4-H archives or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can see like lesson plans and things like that. And here's some suggestions and activities and stuff. So yeah, like you said, it was a whole multimedia presentation with kind of clear goals, and it is interesting. I think it's one of those things like if you had any exposure to it all, you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Even if not, I think it's similar to there's probably other types of shows. And actually, I tried to find there were this same group, and even USDA and 4-H, they produced other shows, but I couldn't find examples. There were a couple I was looking for. Like I read about it, like, that sounds interesting, but I couldn't find any, with a quick search, I couldn't find any other examples of them. But Mulligan Stew, I was able to find pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Just
and it's
on-
not
on
just,
YouTube.
it's like the USDA something extension.
Yeah, with like in association with land grant universities.
Yeah. And I think most of it was filmed in like Ann Arbor or something like that, somewhere in Michigan.
Yeah, like Lansing, I think.
Lansing, yeah.
Because that's where Michigan State is, which would be a land grant university.
Okay. Yeah, and then a little bit in D.C. and a little bit in Florida. They visit the Space Center.
Yeah, and Leesburg, Virginia, in one episode.
Oh, hey.
It's interesting. So it's you get a little time capsule element with some of it with these episodes. But like I think because I was trying to get information. Like usually when we get an episode, I'll tell you what else was on that day. We can't really do it here because it aired. I know the week it premiered, but if you look like at the original listings, like the PBS stations would have something like educational programming. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, if you remember this, there'd be like a lot of public broadcasting, there'd be like a several hour block, like kind of like in the midday to the afternoon, and they would just be showing educational outreach and learning extension type programs.
Right.
And I think this would be on during that block, so it wouldn't necessarily show up in the listings, but this would be something where you could see it at home, or maybe they would just like wheel a TV into the classroom and show it that way.
Right. And I think a lot of those blocks, because sometimes it's like the overnight block too, would be so libraries could record it. Like they even have messages about it. Like, you're a school library, you can record this and re-air it and for free, So it might have been that kind of thing too, which is probably by fourth grade. That's more than likely if we watched it, it was on tape and not film. Although there was still some stuff on film.
Yeah.
And film strip, of course.
Yes.
But I mean, it surprised me that it was originally made so early because it was like 10 years later when I saw it.
Yeah, they showed this well into the 1980s.
Right. And it is, but it's like if I were in a classroom now and they showed it, I'd be like, whoa, what is this history?
Yeah.
But I think in the 80s, like we're exposed to so much 70s stuff that it didn't seem old fashioned necessarily.
That's right. That's a good point, yeah.
And because, some of the educational films were even older than that.
Yeah. For sure, yeah. I wonder, for having only 6 episodes and relatively limited reach in some respects, this probably has a really high, disproportionately high viewership because so many kids must have been exposed to this in elementary school one way or another in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Even if they don't, maybe some of you are remembering it now as we speak of it, as we speak about it. But I think it's been fairly off the radar for a while. Like, just doing some research, you see, like, mentions of it show up on, like Reddit Lost Media, things like that. It's not really lost media. Yeah. It's easy to find, but would you necessarily come across it? Like, I don't know if I would have thought about it if you hadn't got me this comic.
I don't think I would have. And I still was surprised when you wanted to do it. But yeah, and like the episode we're going to talk about it is on the the National Archives website or YouTube channel. A really nice copy. Yeah. Like some of the other ones are a little iffy, but
I was disappointed. I thought maybe they'd all be on that channel, but I don't think they are for whatever reason. Yeah. But yeah, they look good on this. There might have been some interesting stories, but because this wasn't commercially produced, it kind of falls through the cracks of like, there's a lot of the people that remember it are gone now, and at the time there was no real market to put it on DVD. They had it at least for a commercial market, and of course, one thing that we haven't gotten to yet, but like a lot of the nutritional goals are outdated. They've changed, so it's not like they're going to just pack these up and show them. Like even if they weren't made in the 1970s, they would want to change it because the nutritional educational goals are different nowadays.
Yeah, they need to remake it, food pyramid.
Yes,
or whatever. But those things are changing a lot.
It seems like
faster.
Yeah.
Like the 4 food groups was around for 20 years or something, and then the food pyramid changes every 2 years.
I know. Yeah.
Could you do it now? What would it be like?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's a way to for the government to make some money. Put these out on DVD.
Yeah. I'd buy it.
Yeah.
If you give me good copies, sourced from nice materials with some bonuses.
Like a soundtrack album.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was one.
There was a soundtrack album.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So put that on
Spotify.
Yeah, and feature on like who did the music and everything. There's a lot of information about how it started, how the show started, but not a whole lot about the actual production of it.
Who were the I?
Yeah, the I.
I'm not 100% sure who Paul Breyer was either, but he's not as mysterious as the quote-unquote the I.
The I is everyone, and it's no one, man.
Who played Wilbur? I guess I could look that. That was in the credits.
Guy,
But yeah.
But Yeah, and it's interesting because it combines the whole theme of nutrition with the idea of having kids be in a band.
Yes. Yeah, kind of Sesame Street, a little bit of the Monkees, a little bit of Partridge Family,
Yeah.
Brady Bunch kind of stuff. And but they got a clubhouse, but are definitely in a working class urban setting.
They're 5 ethnically diverse kids.
Yes, and
Slightly different ages.
3 boys, 2 girls. They work for Upstairs.
Yes.
Sometimes and go on these missions, nutrition-based missions. They're a band.
And Wilbur is sort of their handler.
Yes,
A nebbishy adult who...
they don't usually take very serious.
No, but he takes his job seriously.
Yes, he does.
It's as vaguely defined as it is.
Right.
He believes in his mission, good-hearted.
Yeah, and they do man on the street interviews. They go talk to experts. They sometimes do 4-H things. It's a lot going on. Yeah, and they're puppets and some kind of crude animation. Yeah.
And segments that they apparently shot before Washington Senators baseball game.
Yes.
So several episodes they'll insert like brief clips from like Ted Williams and other senators, active players at the time.
They run around RFK Stadium in the credits, opening credits, which had I think just opened then.
Yeah, it's interesting. I kind of like it. I just like this kind of like the look of it, and certainly a 70s feel, and with the clothes and everything.
Yes.
And
these kids are all weirdly intense.
yes, one in
but in a
particular.
different way.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is most intense?
Well, you know what? Actually, I guess I would say Mulligan, who's kind of like the leader.
Yeah.
I guess he's the most intense.
Yeah.
Especially in this episode.
But I think that Mike is too.
That's right. Yeah, Mike.
There's
Mike
something
is
about his look, is it like his just face is intense.
That's true. He's got the Mike Nesmith cap.
Yeah.
Going. And yeah.
But they all are at different times, and one of the episodes, they're talking about where different food comes from, and like 4 of them say in unison, "Meat comes from hogs." They keep using the word hog, not pig.
Yeah. It seems like that was a deliberate choice for some reason. But
Yes.
I don't know.
And why, like, they're putting together like a smorgasbord or something.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the one where the Manny, who's black, is like trying to get them to guess what chitlins are, and they come from the inside of a hog.
Yeah. Well, Manny's one of my favorites because he yells every line.
Yeah.
Vitamin C is very important.
Yes.
They all have like these sort of like some more than others, but some of these off-kilter like line readings.
Yeah.
But Manny, he yells just about everything. Well, it's a little bit more natural when they're talking to each other.
Right.
But like a lot of the segments, they're speaking directly to the camera, and those he yells everything.
Yeah. So then there's Maggie, who's blonde and has pigtails and just seems very cheerful.
And she plays keyboards, I believe.
Yes. And then Mickey, who's the youngest and is East Asian. And yeah, she can be very intense too. And she's vitamin D comes in milk.
Yeah, it's like deliberate way of like punctuating like her points.
And I gotta say, they have appropriately cheap instruments. Like those guitars, this is for a friend of the show, Dan, if he's listening. They appear to be Taisco guitars, which are kind of famously cheap Japanese guitars.
Oh, nice.
But also, they have a unique kind of look to them.
Uh-huh.
So I thought that was cool, instead of being like, Saved by the Bell, where Zach had a top-of-the-line Stratocaster.
Yeah.
They did live in they were a little, probably better well off than the Mulligan Stew gang, but
right.
Still.
I think, and it's odd too, because now that you mention it, I believe the first episode that I happened to watch, I think was that one where they did the smorgasbord, and I think that was the only one where they really showed any evidence of a home life.
Yes.
Like all the other ones, they don't really have that. And that one, they kind of like, played it up a lot more and showed several of them interacting with the adults and their family.
Yeah. Interviewing, getting recipes.
Yeah. The rest of the time, it's like they're detached. It's just like their own thing.
Yeah.
So there would be no indication of where they would get money for instruments. So I kind of like that actually.
I don't know where they got this clubhouse.
Yeah.
Appears to be like the basement of a building or something.
Yeah. Maybe they're being funded by Wilbur's agency.
Yes.
Somehow, I think
Yeah.
something's a front for something. I'm not sure what's going on here, but.
Hey, as long as it ends up with healthy people.
Yeah.
And you know what? They make a point that I've made in my life, I'm sure you've made on multiple episodes, that pizza has all 4 food groups.
Yes, they do. I fall right in line with nutritional statements on this show because, they act like it's some kind of superfood because it's got everything.
I know.
I mean, folks, Mike and I aren't nutritional experts.
No.
But you're listening to two guys that I'm probably going to go get a pizza after we record this, as a matter of fact. And we're going to have it. And it's good to know that it's going to be healthy.
Yeah.
We'll have plenty of energy to get us through the rest of the week.
That's right.
But yes, you're right. There's a couple of episodes where they kind of emphasize that.
And additives too, which I think they talk about in some of this episodes. Like,
Yeah.
that additives are that's a good thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess like fortified milk.
Yes.
That's a good additive. Like
Yes.
fortified with vitamin D.
Enriched flour.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that's like a big thing, is like carbohydrates, not so beloved now as they
Yeah.
were back then.
Right.
And especially white bread. And,
Yes.
But here they give it its place at the table. So it's 4-4-3-2.
That's right. Fruit and vegetable group, 4.
4 servings.
Bread and cereal group, 4. No,
the-
dairies, 4.
Dairy's 4. Okay. Dairy's
Wait,
4.
I don't know. We consult the comic book.
Yes, the comic book is
Think
our,
watching 4 episodes of this, and
Yeah.
I would have known. Let's see what Tracy B answered. 4 servings from bread and cereal, 4 servings from fruit and vegetable, 3 from milk, and 2 from meat.
Okay. Yeah. The 4 of bread and cereal is pretty surprising nowadays. I think.
Yes, that's the one. And I think, oh, good, we had lyrics for all the songs. Yes, bread cereal group, whole grain or enriched. Every day, eat foods from each group. 1 slice of bread, or 1 biscuit, or 1 ounce of ready-to-eat cereal, or half a cup to, 1 cup cooked cereal, cornmeal, grits, macaroni, rice, and spaghetti.
Cornmeal. Ready to eat
Those are
cereal.
each a serving. And what is ready-to-eat cereal? Is
Yeah.
it all, I guess,
I guess that's cold cereal versus
Yeah.
instant
then
cereal or
oatmeal?
something. Yeah.
4 more servings. And they all say here, or more. So you could have more servings of meat
Yeah.
or bread.
They recommend to get what you need at
Yes.
least 2 servings of meat every day.
A hamburger or a chicken leg or a fish. Also 2 eggs.
Okay.
Or 1 cup cooked dried beans or peas, which is
Okay.
protein.
So we got some other
Or 4 tablespoons of peanut butter.
giving you plenty
No
of
thanks.
options here.
1 banana or green thing.
Green thing.
I mean, it could be a pickle. It could be a cucumber. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're talking about like the colors of the vegetables
Okay.
and stuff. Obviously, this milk group is much more complicated because it has ages too. Milk group. Count as serving 1 cup of milk. Children under 9, 2 cups to 3 cups. Children 9 to 12, 3 cups or more. Teenagers, 4 cups or more. Adults, 2 cups or more.
Huh.
Cheese can be used for part of the milk or all of the milk.
Nice.
I don't know what they would think of oat milk
Yeah.
or almond milk.
And this comic book, talking about reach, I think this had like millions
Yeah.
made, in the circulation. That comic book was something.
Right,
too.
I did see that. Like the printer balked at the initial print run they wanted. They'd never done one that big, and they had to print like thousands more, hundreds of thousands more.
Yeah. So there are a lot of these. This comic book. There's a lot of them floating around out there.
Yeah.
But I had never had one in my collection until Mike got this one for me. So that's good.
So, shall we talk about the episode at hand?
Yeah. Why don't we?
This is the Flim-Flam Man, which was a specific thing I remembered from my Mulligan Stew experience. Just the name, even. Like, I think that's where I learned the word flim-flam.
Okay.
And so I always have kind of like a teaser or a cold open. So in this case, Mike and Mulligan are walking down the street, and this shady guy standing kind of against a fence. He's got a pimp hat,
Yeah.
shades, big mustache. He's smoking a cigar. Hey, I got something for you. It's very, very much like a drug dealer kind of situation. But what he has is a free booklet on special diets and foods that he can sell to them real cheap. And I give him strong muscles and quick energy. And he seems to just mesmerize Mike. Mulligan's like, no, don't go over there. And Mike's like, but he has this free thing for us.
Yeah.
I'm going to, And the Flim-Flam Man, I don't even know if they ever say his name in this show.
I don't think so. No.
But he's, one of the examples is rice, man. Nothing but rice.
Yeah.
Pure.
Yeah. And that seems to appeal to Mike. Just
Yeah.
the idea of eating nothing but rice. Like, hey, wow.
All right.
That's a real.
It's like easy, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did.
Free from the hassle, but presumably he doesn't make all his own meals.
No. Listen, Mom, just make me a mountain of rice.
Yeah. I'll chip away at it throughout the day.
And Mulligan is just, he is correct. I think his reaction throughout is maybe, as you said, a little intense about it.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
It's a little,
Like,
it's a free booklet. It's information.
Yeah.
He can make up his own mind. He comes off so strong that he might end up driving his friend into this.
Yeah.
Because he's so over the top against it. It's like,
And
what do you have to worry about this?
I like the Flim-Flam Man keeps calling it a book.
Yeah.
And then when Mike comes back, he gave me a pamphlet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we get the opening, which is an instrumental version of the theme song, and it's the kids running around in the stadium. And
It's very much like a monkey style romp.
yes,
That
sped up, and
yeah.
they all shout their names. And then we get some various stuff of the kids and some sort of scientist and Wilbur and puppets and cartoons explaining like a balanced diet and.
Yeah, and one thing I think is there's a scientist guy. They don't bother to identify him.
No.
It's just presumed that the fact that he's wearing like a white lab coat
Yes.
and has like a professional demeanor is enough to give him credibility.
Gave credibility to me.
Yeah,
It was like, hey, scientist.
and a lot of direct address. These
Yes.
things they're talking to us, the viewers.
Right, and there's a little bits of comedy in there, but also like it's mostly educational and reiterating these ideas, and there's a song about like vitamins and nutrients, and it was good to relearn what nutrients are. Vitamins and minerals are nutrients, but so are protein and carbohydrates and fats.
That's right.
This has lyrics to songs. I don't know if that one.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Okay, that song for sure. There's 4432. Let's see.
yeah, the 4432 theme is something they hit pretty much every episode. That's like if there's one lesson they want you to take away from the show, it's 4432, and that's their big.
Doesn't
big
look like that one is in here, but there's a song called Goulash, Garbanzo Beans, and Guacamole.
What a combination.
Yes. And the other song from this episode is in there. So revisit those lyrics. Get there.
By the way, Mike, I don't know if we addressed it. Have you ever had Mulligan Stew?
I don't think so. I'm not a big stew fan. I'm not even sure what Mulligan Stew is. I know from searching for the videos for this that there was one video called something like, Hobo's Delight or something. Definitely had the word hobo, which I believe it is, like most of those kind of meals, those one-pot meals that tend to come from lower income situations.
Yeah. So that's what gave the show the band a name.
Yes.
Well, of course, the band was first. I'm sure.
Right.
They had to name the show after the band.
And that they had a kid named Mulligan.
Yes. Yeah. So right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a stew person either. It's just like even like. Like say like a vegetable stew or something like. For me, it's like, okay, take the ingredients. Mm-hmm. Like if you got potatoes and carrot, put them in a bowl. Yeah. I'll just have the potatoes in a bowl together. Right. That's okay. But I don't need it as a stew with like mysterious like liquid of unknown provenance in there.
Yeah. Right.
I'll just have the components together in a bowl.
Right.
And we'll just call it like a bowl of whatever.
I don't want everything all soft.
Yeah. That's stew enough for me. Yeah. So no,
I think the only thing like that I might enjoy would be like a gumbo or a jambalaya.
Okay, I do like that's all right. That sort of thing.
Yeah. See, but in general, I don't want a bunch of stuff mixed together.
And if you go to like a restaurant or whatever, and I'm reasonably sure that what's being done and everything, that's one thing. But if somebody's going to invite me over and have a stew, I'm getting nervous. Yeah. Because everybody's going to have their own little thing, and who knows what they're doing? Who knows what's going to be in there?
Exactly.
At a restaurant, it might be a little fun to do that every now and then, but just going to some civilian's house and having a stew, that's not fun. That's treacherous.
Yeah. And it does bring up the question: is Seinfeld sort of addressed, but they asked whether soup was a meal or not. What about stew? I mean, stew is usually heartier than a soup.
Stew, I think, is intended to be a meal.
Right.
I still think there's some room for discussion on that.
Yeah. And you probably wouldn't have a stew before a meal, where you might have a bowl of soup before a meal.
That's exactly right. You wouldn't. I think the expectation is if somebody gives you a stew, they think they've done their job. Like, here, stew. Maybe you get a piece of bread. Yeah. Some enriched.
Right. Yeah. They're enriched white bread.
Yes. To go along with it.
Yeah, because you got to sop up the leftover liquid. Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, yeah. See.
And I mean, I think the impression they give here is like a stew is going to give you everything you need because it's got your meat and your vegetables.
That's right.
And I guess if you have bread with it or put some crackers in it or something, you get that. And I'm not sure about the dairy. Throw some cheese in.
Sure.
I don't know what goes in a Mulligan stew. So.
No.
I feel like anything. Now, I do feel like if I were like a hobo, Mulligan stew would definitely be a step up from stone soup.
Yes.
Those are my choices. I would go with the Mulligan stew.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. On the other hand, if I could just eat a can of beans,
Right.
I would probably go with that.
Yeah. Well, some people probably love a good Mulligan stew. And
I'm sure they do. And
if you're in that category, fine, more power to you. But
Yeah.
just not for me. Not for Mike.
No. Back in this episode,
Yeah.
Mulligan interviews Peggy Walton, who is a home expert, I think is what that was, about additives. And she explains that they're chemicals either from nature or the lab that they can make foods more nutritious or add shelf life or appeal to them. And you can trust them because they're rigorously tested.
Yes.
And they also, the scientist guy explains that they can put nutrients back into foods that have been lost during processing. So bread would be an example where, the making of the flour, you can lose some nutrients that way. So they enrich the flour so that it has them again.
It's
vitamin D added to milk because that's a vitamin you don't get naturally from food, but you need.
It is a much more benign explanation of food processing than we would think of now.
Yes.
Where that's like a dirty word,
Exactly,
You want to
yeah.
avoid anything, but here, they make it say, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, where it's almost like, okay, we see there's a problem here, and we found a solution so that we can still have, because the processing is a solution to problems in its own, or it was, about shelf life and transportation and all that, and then the additives balance out the.
This was before GMOs and all
Yes.
the putting all kinds of junk in food that they do today.
Right.
So it's a little bit different back then, but
That's right.
I thought that, and I'll have to try to. I thought that Peggy Walton might have been an advisor on the show, or one of the people that helped, but I'm not sure. I haven't been able
Yeah.
to verify that. So I'll
Yeah,
look
the
it up.
only name I picked up was by Rick Klugger, the creator of the show.
Okay.
And I was just happy to know that Klugger is a real last name.
Yeah. So we when we were been using that.
Yeah. And we learned some more about essential nutrients, your vitamins, all that. And then we go back to the clubhouse, and Mike has his nose stuck in that book, and he starts telling everybody about some of these great diets that are in there, like the grapefruit and eggs diet, or you just grapefruit and eggs. Which, frankly, I've heard of the grapefruit diet. I never heard.
Not combined.
That
with
seems like better than the grapefruit diet because at least you get some protein.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're moving pretty quickly here, but all the other kids get right in line, like, oh, this sounds pretty cool. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're quickly swayed by it. It's shortcuts.
And Mulligan's freaking out, and they're calling him a spoil sport and stuff. So they're being kind of jerky too.
They tell him he's too square.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that in 1972, one of the worst things you could be as
man.
a kid is too square.
Yeah, don't be square, man.
Yeah.
And then the Flim-Flam Man just shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And and Mulligan runs. I think he's going to attack him, and he trips, and they all laugh at him. And then he leaves, and the Flim-Flam Man already has a brand new book.
Yeah. He's nothing if not prolific.
That's right. And the kids are all excited. And then we learn about the old 4432 again from such stalwarts as an animated duck academic. Some puppets. We learn about vitamin D, some more on additives. And then Mulligan is in the clubhouse by himself pretending to play acoustic guitar, singing this sad song about fad diets.
Yeah. It kind of sounded a little bit like Nilsson to me. Just like the overall sound of this, but it was a pensive Mulligan singing this.
Yes. Here, lyrics here. Verse 1, fad foods and quick diets are bad for you, so don't try it. They'll slow you down, and that is why they're no good for you. Verse 2, there's only one way to keep your body in line. There's only one way for feeling fine. There's only one way, and it's yours and mine. That's eating a balanced diet. Repeat verse 1. There's only one way for feeling good. There's only one way, and it's understood. There's only one way, and I wish you would. Keep eating a balanced diet. Repeat verse 1.
Very nice, Mike. Very
thank
soulful
you.
reading of that, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's all well stated. Mulligan's trying to tell us he's reaching us, if not his friends.
I mean, he's a true believer.
He really is. He's unwavering in this whole time.
Maybe it's his youth.
Could be.
He's young enough to still believe, but he's old enough to be a little wiser than Mickey.
You're right.
The other
Yes.
kid, I'm not sure what Maggie's age is, but the other Manny and Mike are a little older.
Well,
They're sick of eating balanced diets.
yeah, they're a little jaded.
Yeah.
This episode does confirm, why Mulligan should be the leader of the band. Not just because his name happens to be Mulligan.
Right.
Of course, that's probably the big part of it. But
Yeah.
But he also has, he takes his responsibility seriously, and I admire his commitment to his principles.
I mean, when they started, maybe it was called Mike Stew.
Yeah.
No offense to my own name, but that's just not a good name. let's take a moment. So we mentioned Maggie plays the keyboards. Mulligan and Mickey play guitar.
Okay. Yeah.
Manny plays bass, and Mike plays drums.
Right. Right.
So then Wilbur's doing his taxes, and he's got all these receipts and flying around and everything. And Mulligan runs in for for help, and of course he's being very vague about it. He's just, oh, something terrible is happening. Oh, it's really the scary man, and Wilbur is afraid. And he's like, and Mulligan has to kind of really build him up until he gets his act together, and he's going to go help.
Yeah, a tactical error by Mulligan, because if he would have just gone in and said that, that some guy's passing out pamphlets like he's Pueblo, Colorado.
Yeah.
Then, and what it was about, Wilbur would have been like, oh, okay, well, let's go put a stop to this. But instead, he goes in with these, vague declarations of doom, and Wilbur's is timid, like you say.
Yes.
But, he does get himself out of it. Mulligan.
He gets up, they go to the closet. Mulligan has to put his hat on for him. Coat and something else. Scarf.
Yeah, scarf, yeah. And he gives him an umbrella? Or is that late?
There might have been an umbrella.
Yeah, I think there's an umbrella, yeah.
Yeah. And then we get some of the stuff we've already seen, all segments, but there's a focus on vitamins, and Wilbur kind of fumbling through a big book to look up the vitamins, and then cutting to the various kids and stuff, jumping, and cartoons, frogs and stuff, jumping ahead of him and saying, no, it's for this.
Yeah, I think earlier there was a segment where there's a real brief snippet of something where Wilbur was like kind of fast talking and trying to say something, stumbling on it. Just to let Wilbur is basically a comic character, and to this point in the episode, he's kind of like, sort of gently mocked.
Right.
He's the grown up, but he's a little daffy. So
yes, he's balding, he's a mustache and glasses.
So it's important to recognize that because of what comes later. Just want to point that out.
We learned some things about protein, carbs, and fats again. And then Mulligan and Wilbur are crouching behind a fallen tree, spying on the kids and the Flim-Flam Man who are in a vacant lot.
Yeah.
It's very desolate looking.
Yeah, this episode is really a proof of urban blight.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it does not show off the DC metro area, which I think is part of...
I don't know if this is DC or this is Lansing.
That's true. I'm getting my episodes mixed up because they used... There's one where they're like in Georgetown. Like and you see some actual like landmarks that you can place, but it's like 50 some years ago. Well, wherever they are.
I mean, it looks a little bit like The Wire, Baltimore.
Yeah, it does. Yes. I mean, like nothing but like rocks and dirt, and but in the middle of town, it is kind of depressing.
Right.
I mean, I guess this is where kids played, back then.
Why not? You could do a lot of stuff in a vacant lot.
Yeah.
You could just sit and read pamphlets.
Yeah.
You could. As we're going to see, a lot of sports you could play.
Hey, it's better to have a rock-filled, hypodermic needle-filled vacant lot than a Starbucks. Am I right?
Yeah. You
can't
play at Starbucks.
Yeah.
And Flim-Flam Man is still pushing the diets, and the kids all explain the ones they're on. So Mickey's been on a fish and pills diet.
It's like fish and
pills being supplements, I guess. Not.
Yeah.
And Mike has been on an egg and pills diet, and then they're going to swap at some point after a few months.
Yeah, get some variety in there. After a few months, why not? Because you might get tired of rice.
Yes.
Even rice, you get tired of it if you're eating nothing but rice for 2 months or whatever.
Yeah, the Flim-Flam Man, he wants them to spread the word to all their friends.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of them even did say, I'm getting kind of tired of this. Getting tired of fish and eggs.
Yeah.
Or fish and pills.
Yeah.
Fish and pills, and why hasn't anybody started that restaurant?
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds like a winner, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. So Wilbur, he can't take it anymore, and he charges in, and the Flim-Flam Man keeps telling him to blast off. I'm going to start using that.
Blast off, man.
Blast off, man. But Wilbur challenges him to a duel of strength and endurance, because he thinks this will prove that these diets don't work.
Right. If you don't have enough energy, you can't win a duel if you don't have enough energy and fuel.
That's right.
And he actually slaps him in the face, right, with his glove. Am I imagining that?
I think you're imagining that.
I know.
But he does offer him the choice to just admit that he's full of it.
I'm pretty sure I saw at least one episode where Wilbur takes out a glove and actually smacks somebody, and I was taken aback because it's a level of violence you don't see in the series. But
no,
all right.
And maybe he did, and I just missed it. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, taking notes. But then they go through a very sped up montage of various sports. We had some arm wrestling, little sort of one-on-one baseball, and an obstacle course that pretty much just is climbing over that fallen tree.
Yeah.
lifting weights.
Yeah.
I don't know, tugging. More, I don't know exactly what they're holding, like kind of holding each other's arms. And,
yeah, I think it's like standing like wrestling. Yeah,
okay.
It's like a standing like I forget what it's called, but
basketball and some calisthenics. And surprise, surprise, the Flim-Flam Man can't hack it.
no, he cannot hang. He's exhausted.
Yeah, me smoking that cigar is not helping.
Certainly not.
No.
I'm surprised they don't mention that, but
Yeah.
I guess they stay focused on the nutrition.
It's the 70s.
Yeah.
That's a whole other series.
Yeah.
That's the FDA series.
Yeah. Probably the teachers in the classrooms are probably smoking when they showed
Yeah.
these to the kids. They didn't want to go too hard on that.
Or at least they're like, oh, I want that cigar. When is it going to be over? So the kids, they learn their lesson. And the Flim-Flam Man, he makes one last kind of weak effort to convince them. But, they're not buying it anymore. And then Wilbur takes them out for, as we said, nutritious pizza.
Yeah. Sounds good, huh?
Then we get a nice little last sort of lecture from the kids about, fat diets and everything. And get the animated frog. This is one of my favorite things in every episode.
Yeah.
The frogs. I mean, they're playing like the theme, but then they'll stop and be like, meat group.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of like it. Mixed in. I wouldn't want to watch like more than like 5 minutes of that.
No.
But like mixed in these like really bite-sized segments that the animation's got its own charm, I think.
Yeah.
Same with like the puppets, the low-rent puppets that
Yes.
kind of pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah. The dog one, I like it especially. And Ted Williams talking about whatever 4432, various things, and then the whole band does the Fad Diet song again, a band arrangement of that.
Yeah, expanded version.
Yeah.
More instrumentation. Very nice.
And there's sorts of montage of whatever people eating and stuff.
I
don't like that.
There was one earlier in the episode too, and I don't really like montages of people eating either.
No.
I'm glad you said that. It's just not something I need to see. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, and that's the episode.
That's right. Yeah, it's about like 28 minutes or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
About a half hour almost, and reasonably well paced. I think there's a nice mix, like all the elements. One of the episodes I saw, I'm not sure. I was wondering if it was the first episode produced. You can't tell. I don't know. But there was one episode, and they're all kind of interchangeable to me. But it seemed to be a little bit more straight up and informational, with less reliance on like the skits and everything. It was more like sort of lectures, like people talking to us. Whereas in this one, they do it more in short segments, and really the heart of it is kind of like the Flim-Flam Man in those segments. So I think it's a little bit more effective in this one, it being an entertaining package as opposed to a series of educational segments.
Yeah. So I saw 4 of these. This one, the Smorgasbord one, just because there's a big international 4-H something.
Yeah, some kind of to-do.
Yeah. There's one where they talk to some astronaut or space center people, but it's because Wilbur goes camping and there's a big flood and he's stuck in the woods and they have to figure out how to get food to him.
Yeah.
Luckily, Manny knows a guy at the airport. He can go with a helicopter.
Right.
And so they get all this food. Because, even though they filmed in these places, this city just seems classic kind of comic books. It's located close to whatever they need.
Yeah.
It's got woods, it's got beach, it's got,
mountains.
got a space center,
Yeah, space.
a baseball stadium.
Right.
That one was kind of ridiculous, but it was, there was interesting stuff about it. And again, it's like, how do you get them like 2 weeks of worth of food when it weighs so much?
Yeah.
When you use the freeze-dried things and stuff. They save him. He was not prepared.
He was not, no.
No. And, another one where they have to go help the town of Lazy Susan.
Yeah, that's the one that was Leesburg, shot in Leesburg.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like a whole town, it just doesn't have energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they sing a song.
That's it, yeah.
That's how they wake them up.
Is that the one where they sing Good Nutrition?
Yes.
That's my favorite song of the series.
Now, the Smorgasbord one had, like, that music was kind of cool. It was almost like veering into, like, Sly Stone kind of. There was, like, call and response, and it was a little groovy. Like, and all of it, none of it sounds like 1972. It all sounds kind of like 1965. Which is not bad. But,
Right.
Yeah, Good Nutrition. When you're on top of the scene, there's no place to go but up. What?
Seems counterintuitive.
Feeling on top of a dream, knowing you've got your cup overflowing with that good nutrition, good nutrition, good nutrition, good nutrition. And it's all right with me.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
When you've got love in your heart, there's nothing to do but smile. Feeling so cool and smart, knowing that all the while you've got good nutrition, good nutrition, good nutrition, good nutrition, and it's all right with me.
Now, yes.
Give me a bright day with sunshine and flowers, or if you've got raindrops and windy day showers, it doesn't matter to me. Not at all to me. I can handle the cold days or laugh in the warm ones, knowing I've got nutrition, not good nutrition, to keep me happy, healthy, and alive. Repeat 2, repeat 1.
Now, as effective as that reading was,
Yes.
it did not include the kick and bass line that is featured throughout that song. I recommend, if you watch anything from Mulligan Stew, find that video or find a clip of that song.
And I probably read it a little faster than.
Yeah, it's a little bit more,
Like,
a little bit more languid.
Nutrition. Something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all right with me. A little jangly.
Yeah.
I like it. There's another episode where they have to help a boy and a girl who were the most popular kids in school, very successful, but now nobody wants to hang out with them. And they're grouchy, they don't have energy to do anything. And it's because their diet is wrong. They aren't getting enough of that nutrition. So they have to help them out and restore their popularity. You know, and it's interesting, like...
I don't care about their popularity, but it's nice if they help them out.
That reminds me, in this episode, the Flim-Flam Man, I think, is saying, like, wouldn't you like to be skinny? You know? Or,
Yeah.
You know, that's something they would
Like
not
a
do
movie
today.
star?
Yeah, exactly. All the movie stars, all the cool kids are skinny, you know, and everything like that. They're just being that explicit about that. Even if the Flim-Flam Man is later proved to be a fraud, that was something that kind of stood out to today's ears.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I was reading something about guest stars. Supposedly Richard Sanders from WKRP was in an episode.
I heard that.
I have
Everybody
not
saw
seen
that.
him in the episode. If he was, it was real quick, and I don't know who plays the Flim-Flam Man. He's uncredited.
No.
I didn't recognize him. He looked like he
That
very
wasn't
easily.
Richard Sanders.
Yeah, it looks like he very easily could be somebody under, like, you know.
Yes.
Like the way he was dressed.
Yeah, I didn't think his mustache was necessarily real.
Yeah. So it's
Maybe it was Ira Klugger.
It could be. He was a very hands-on producer.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't Ted Williams. I'm confident of that.
No.
But yeah, I enjoy this show. It's fun, you know, and again, kind of seeing, like, in places like Reddit and people bringing up, a lot of people talk about how corny it is and kind of, but, you know, there's also, it seems like, an equal number of people that are like, hey, yeah, I remember this as a kid or whatever, but it's not meant for us. But I think it's fun enough as a watch, and it goes by pretty quickly, I think, and the music is pleasant.
Goes by even quicker if you watch at 1.5 speed.
He said theoretically,
yes.
Purely. Well, you know, I enjoyed it.
Not this episode. This episode I watched at regular speed.
Right.
But some of the others, just, I know it's wrong, you know, to try to get things done more quickly. Not.
Yeah, you took the shortcut, man.
took the shortcut.
It just doesn't work.
Someone gave me a booklet about it.
Ah,
Watching videos at a faster speed.
don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, to be fair, there is a lot of repetition, like the themes and even some of the segments are recur. So, you know, it's not essential that you watch all 6 episodes, but
Right.
I believe, yes, I did, and I don't regret it. I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
That it's enough. You know?
Right, yeah.
I think I got it, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
So if you have memories of Mulligan Stew, the show or the stew, if you have opinions about stew
Or recipes
or recipes,
for Mulligan Stew.
yes. Let us know at mailbag@battleofthenetworkshows.com or at our Facebook group, Battle of the Network Shows, the group.
Yeah, it's been a while since we swapped recipes on there. You know,
Yeah.
we talked TV, you know, TV related toys and things, stuff like that, but not recipes. It's been too long.
Yeah. Especially for stew.
Yeah. Well, have I mentioned, you know, probably mentioned on the podcast, my theory that nobody just makes chili. Everybody's chili is their world famous chili.
Yes.
I don't know if that's the same for stew. I guess not. Stew is such a
It's more like mom's stew.
yeah, it's more like rustic. It's not something you brag about as much. You just kind of like shove it in front of people, I guess, and hope that they like it.
Now, you know, Fred Silverman's theory of network programming was a stew theory.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Get a little bit of everything you need. Mm-hmm. That'll give you the most balanced TV viewing.
There you go.
Sometimes what you need is jiggle.
Right.
Sometimes what you need is cartoons.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Variety?
yeah, whatever works. Action. You apparently don't need rural.
No.
That just makes the stew taste weird.
Right.
Yeah. You know, an urban stew.
You don't want to foul up a good stew with those
No.
rural elements.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, who are we to argue with Fred Silverman?
I know.
The legend. Yeah, there weren't a lot of other TV shows about nutrition in the 70s and 80s. So
I don't think so.
I'm glad we finally got to this one. And
Yeah, I'm glad to know, carbohydrates are fine.
yeah, weren't we all smarter back in 1972 in many ways?
I think so.
Why can't we have been smarter about nutrition back then?
Yeah.
Pizza is good, It's
It
good
is.
for you.
Yes.
It's versatile, too.
Yeah.
You can put more vegetables on it. You can
That's
put fruit
right.
on it if you want to.
Right. You could have it without meat
Yeah,
if you're not into that.
that's right.
Some people have it without sauce.
Yeah.
Of course, then you're not having the vegetables, but,
Right. Make it up with something, put like mushrooms or something on it.
Yeah.
Why not? Who needs stew when you got a pizza?
Exactly.
That's what I say.
that's like a combining of foods, but not in a gross way.
Yeah.
It's using something congealed to
Yeah.
hold it together.
Congealed. Nothing like congealment to
Yeah. And then you may
Tie
have
a
some
meal
Jell-O with fruit floating in it.
And my appetite's going back down again.
Okay. I think that's Mulligan Stew.
This episode brought to you by 4432. This episode also brought to you by Fish and Pills, serving the best in, fish and, pills. This episode also brought to you by pizza, all of a healthy, balanced diet.
Join us next time for another exciting episode of Battle of the Network Shows. Learn more, leave feedback, and suggest future episodes at battleofthenetworkshows.com. Follow us on Twitter at BatNetShows and like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Battle of the Network Shows.